Welcome to Tactics Breakdown. Today we are going to go into details about the exciting game that happened yesterday on the UCL game between Chelsea and Barcelona. I think this game has brought a lot of excitement to the Chelsea fans, but you need to watch this show. Why Barcelona fans should be worried and why Chelsea fans should be happy. I'm going to break everything down for you. But firstly, let's go into the lineup of the games and know how both teams set up and what went wrong for Barcelona and what went out right for Chelsea in this particular game. Remember, this show is brought to you by MyBet.Africa. Scan the QR code up here to get a chance to also register with MyBet.Africa and use the code TTPOD to get free 10 Ghana cedis and also bet on their platform. They are the #1 betting platform in the country, so try them by scanning the QR code and also be part of the team. Let's move into the lineup of both teams, then we will break the tactical display of how both coaches Enzo Maresca and Hansi Flick set up. So with the tactical display, looking at Chelsea's lineup, Chelsea went in with Robert Sanchez in post, Gusto on the right, Fafana Chaluba as centre pairings, and Cucurella on the left. Rhys James, Caicedo as their double pivot, and Estevao Willian on the right wing position, Enzo Fernandez as the number 10, Alejandro Garnacho starting as the left winger, and Pedro Neto starting as the number 9. Most of Chelsea fans will look at this lineup and would say, why did Pedro Neto start ahead of Liam Delap and also João Pedro in this Chelsea setup? One thing I would say is that these two players are different profile from what Enzo Maresca was looking out for in the Barcelona team. We know Barcelona will set up in a high line, and if Barcelona is setting up in a high line, meaning you need somebody to make those runs in between, you need somebody to be up front with that pace, with that strength, and also the ability to shoot the ball so well. So Maresca was looking at going with Pedro Neto was the best solution to be able to get the chance to get up front and get a lot of chances. In the game, we saw the chance Pedro Neto had, and Maresca was shocked or disappointed by the way he struck the ball. And I think those were the things he was looking out for. And if that goal happened, that would have been a climax or a trademark for Maresca, stamping on his formation that this is something he planned on doing, and it happened. Let's go into the Barcelona setup too. We had a player in Joan Gracia returning, Koundé on the right, Balde on the left, Kubasi and Araujo as the center pairing. We have De Jong and Eric Garcia as the double pivot, Lamine Yamal on the right wing position, Fermin Lopez in the number 10 role, Ferran Torres also on the left wing, and Lewandowski also as the striker. Most Barcelona fans were surprised about this lineup because they know Rafinha was available, they know Rashford was also available to start in this game. So looking at this lineup, most Barcelona fans were surprised seeing Hansi Flick going with Fermin Lopez on the left wing position instead of Rashford or Rafinha. And I think most Barcelona fans will look at this back and say, yes, we said it, because Fermin Lopez had a best chance to be able to convert the first goal of the game. A clear chance against a goalkeeper in Robert Sanchez, and he didn't even hit on target. It was just by the post, which was the climax or the line drawn between the chances Barcelona got into the game. Let's go into the statistics, ball possession wise, expected goals from both teams, and also what are the shots on target both teams have. Then I'll come into details and explain to you why I think Chelsea are sometimes being underrated in football. And Maresca, he's been one coach who has been very underrated in football, and I think when I break it down for you, you get to understand where I'm coming from and where Chelsea needs to build on. What do Barcelona also have to do? I'll break it down also for you. So looking at the statistics of this game, at 56, Barcelona had 44. Expected goals on the night, Chelsea had 1.76, Barcelona had 0.79. Total shots, Chelsea had 15 total shots, Barcelona had 5. Shot on target, Chelsea had 6, Barcelona had 2. Big chances created, Chelsea had 3, Barcelona had 1. Big chances missed, Chelsea missed 2, Barcelona missed 1. Fouls committed, Chelsea did 6 against Barcelona 1. Corners of 4 for Chelsea, 0 for Barcelona. And I think most people will be surprised about the way Chelsea came into the game. And I think Maresca, anytime he goes against any coach who is tactically good, Maresca always wants to outsmart the coach. And I think that is where Chelsea fans need to look at. Let's look at the statistics from the Barcelona side. Barcelona doesn't have a good record visiting Stamford Bridge. This is their fifth time visiting Stamford Bridge, and out of all the 5, they've had 4 draws and also losing, that is today. On the other hand, Barcelona is one team in the Champions League. On 24 successful away games, they've been able to score in all. So Chelsea limiting them to not getting a goal shows how successful Maresca set up his team to be able to limit Barcelona to just 2 shots on target and 5 shots in total. And in 53 games, Barcelona has played 53 games, scoring in each of them. Now Barcelona is going in a game that couldn't even get a goal. That shows how defensive structure Maresca set up his team to be able to stop this Barcelona team and also not allow them to get even maximum shot on target. And I think going into the game, to me, Hansi Flick made a very big mistake putting Eric Garcia in the middle instead of putting him in the center back. In their Bilbao game, he tried Eric Garcia in that DM role in the last 10 minutes to 15 minutes of the game, and I think it worked for him, but it was against Bilbao, not against Chelsea. So repeating the same thing against Chelsea, in the middle you'll be losing a lot of balls to Chelsea, and that is where Chelsea got to dominate. Lamine Yamal, he was the biggest boy in this game. A lot of people were looking at him against Cucurella. How would he be able to perform? But I think Lamine Yamal failed the test against Cucurella massively, and Cucurella at the end of the game was the man of the match, showing that he put up a good performance against a player like Lamine Yamal. Improving wise, I think this is the second time Lamine Yamal is coming against a physical left back and is finding it very difficult to go against him. We saw Cucurella against Olise in the Champions League game Chelsea had against Bayern Munich, and what happened? Olise most of the time drops, take the ball and play a wall pass and run in behind Cucurella. He got 1 or 2 times around Cucurella, and I think that should have been the game plan coming into this game. One other issue I found with the Barcelona setup is the European teams are not looking at how these English sides are setting up a lot in set pieces and in corners. If you've been following the EPL, you know that these teams are driving more on set pieces and corners, and Chelsea scored from a corner. That shows how dominant they are looking at dominating most of the European games with corners. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, most of these English teams go into European games trying to get a lot of corners and using them to their advantage, and that is where I find it difficult. Are the other European teams not learning? Are the other European teams not looking at what the English clubs are doing to be able to look at how they set up and also stop their corners? But I think on the Barcelona side, everything was going on well. They were getting chances up front till Araujo went off. Most Barcelona fans wouldn't like him for this, and this is not the first time, this is not the second time, this is not even the third time. He did it against Paris Saint-Germain where he got a red card and Barcelona lost in last season's Champions League. He did it against Inter Milan in the semi-final where he was ball watching for Acerbi to get that particular goal. And today on the yellow card, most fans watching the game was expecting Cucurella wasn't in any danger zone, so you could just walk with him and make sure that he doesn't get the ball into the box, or push him off the ball a bit, not going in so hard to get a second yellow card, knowing that you are already on 1 yellow card. So I think these were some of the things that got Barcelona off the game. And a red card against Chelsea, 11v11, the game was balanced, and going 1 man down puts the game into Chelsea's hands. Let's go into the Chelsea setup. Enzo Maresca set up so well. I was expecting Badeshia to start ahead of Chalobah, but looking at what Maresca was looking for, Maresca wasn't looking for centre backs who would be more of a ball playing for him. He was looking at centre backs who would be more aggressive, and when it comes to the aggressiveness, Chalobah has a bit ahead of Badeshia. So now he wasn't looking at breaking the Barcelona line, he was looking at now being physical with them, and the likes of Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Regimes will be doing that job for them. So I think it worked out well, keeping a clean sheet against Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Fermin Lopez, even Rashford and Rafinha coming in. Shows how he was able to set up his team to stop this Barcelona setup. In the middle of the Chelsea pitch, I think if Barcelona had Pedri, Chelsea would have been in big trouble. With Regimes and Caicedo was finding it very difficult to go with the tempo of the game, picking ball from the defense and getting into the final third, and it took Enzo Fernandez to drop in pick those balls with 1 or 2 long passes to the final third of Barcelona to try and break their line. But in the first 15-20 minutes, Caicedo was finding it very hard to be able to get a ball up front, and we could see in some minutes Caicedo lost the ball and it was about to lead to a goal to Barcelona. Let's talk about the wonder boy of the night, Esteban Willian. This is his first Champions League start in a row, and he has scored in all of them. Coming from the international break, he had 2 goals. That is in the friendly games for Brazil against Senegal and also against Tunisia, showing that this boy is ready to play. And I think he's one of an amazing talent coming into Europe. We shouldn't just be comparing Lamine Yamal against Esteban. We should just put them on that level that will help them grow and become one of the best players. The ball striking of this boy, the ability of the ball to dribble, to control games, is one of the best I have seen in a young 18-year-old boy. And I think he has a lot of room to improve, a lot of ceiling to be able to achieve. And I think Esteban Willian is one player you need to watch, especially in this Champions League. He has 3 goals as of now in the Champions League after 5 games, and it shows that if he keeps on with the same level, he may get at least a 5, 10 or even 15 goals in this Champions League phase. And I think most Chelsea fans will be excited, but other fans will be looking at, why do you think you'll be able to get 15 goals? But I think the performance he's putting shows that he has the confidence on the ball. Striking with his weaker foot in the top roof shows confidence on the ball. But I think in general, the game was in Chelsea's hand to win. Enzo Maresca set up his team, or Hansi Flick had difficulties to try and stop this Chelsea setup, which caused a lot of problems in the Barcelona setup. But going forward, Barcelona needs to put up their game, because this is Champions League. They have few games left, and if they don't get to win those games, it will be a very difficult thing for Barcelona to set up. But I would say Chelsea fans should rejoice. Chelsea fans should be happy. Chelsea fans should see their club as one of the elite clubs in the world, with an elite coach leading them. What they need to do is they need to make others feel that they are serious in this business. They shouldn't pick and choose games they need to perform. They shouldn't pick and choose games they need to bring up the good performance. They should make it across. That is where an elite club shows up. Chelsea cannot go into a game against Paris Saint-Germain and beat Paris Saint-Germain by 3 goals. They can't go into a game against Barcelona, beat Barcelona by 3 goals. Can't go into a game against Liverpool, win by 2 goals to 1, and be losing to Brighton, be losing to Sunderland, be losing to this young clubs in the EPL. They need to dominate everywhere, and I want to see something new from Maresca and his boys against Arsenal. Thank you for watching Tactics Breakdown. Like, share, and also let us know in the comments what you think about our breakdown, what you think we missed, and also between Esteban and Lamine Yamal, who was able to have the great night, and what do you think about Esteban going on also in this Chelsea setup and also in the Champions League? Would he be able to get that 10 goals mark that I just mentioned? Thank you for watching. Like, share to your friends, and help support the show by making this page grow. Thank you.